When you import to Lightroom, you're basically either bringing in a folder of images or moving or copying to another folder of images. So this is what it physically looks like on the drive. This is my main drive here, and you can see from the way I've imported that I use a year, month, and then I'll use a dated folder, and then I'll write in information about it as I've shot them. So it just gives me an idea of what's in each folder. So I go to Portumna Forest Park, for example, and I press G for grid. We can see some of the images I shot of flowers and trees inside the park. So these are residing on the disk. So if I go Command or Control or if I right click on it, I can select Show in Finder or Show in Explorer if you're on PC, and that will bring up the folder and show the folder. If your OS has preview information in for these, it will show them as actual pictures, but as the operating system doesn't have compressed raw files from the Fuji, I don't get to see a thumbnail. So they're in a physical location on the disk. So if I was to look, I would actually see that there's all of these 2014, 15, 16, etc. folders on the disk. There are a few things we can do here as well, but by looking, the first thing that we see in the top here is that we have these special little bars, and these are actually representative of the disks themselves. Now, this looks like it's actually in the root directory of the disk. It's not. It's actually in a folder on the disk. So if I right click on that one there, for example, we come back and we go Show in Finder, it's going to show this folder, and I'm going to bring it out into this location so we can see it like this. We can see that it's matching what's here. So we have 04 and 2017 here, but if you go back a little bit, we'll see that it's actually in a photo folder, which is then inside the root folder itself. We can actually show this folder on it. If we click on 2017 and then right click, and we can go Show Parent Folder, it will then attempt to put these all in a folder, which is a parent folder, which takes a couple of seconds. So there we go. So we can now see that these are inside the photo folder, which, as we've seen here, is where they actually are. So it is representative of what's on the disk, but you may not see the full path inside Lightroom. Now I'm going to come up to this and I'm going to put it back the way it was by going Hide This Parent. And that should bring us and put us pretty much back where we were. But I'm going to select my forest park again. Now, as you can see, because it's literally translating stuff that's on the disk, it does take a little bit of time for that to happen. And now it'll update the numbers again. So there's a few other options inside there. Oh, very briefly I should mention about the drives themselves. These little tabs beside them, the colours indicate how much space is left on them. So green means there's plenty of space. If you look down at one that's nearly full here, Voyager, with 2 gigabytes out of 1000 gigabytes, we can see it's orange. If it was less than that, it would actually go red. This line here basically means that the drive is not connected. So these are external drives that are currently not connected. This is a small, tiny little drive. This one here is a 4 terabyte drive. So there's also this little option here. If you right click on it, you can choose to have different things here. So you can have photo count, status, or absolutely no information. Generally, I just have them left on disk space. What other things can we do? Well, if we right click here, you can see that you could rename it. You can also choose to remove it. If we go for a rename, we'll just bring it up. You literally just put in a new name there. So I'm going to cancel out of that. Remove. I'm going to show you the options for that. That will say remove the folder, how many folders it contains. These photos will be removed from the Lightroom catalog, but the folder and files will remain on disk. So you're not deleting the files, you're just taking them out of Lightroom. So I want them to stay in, so I'm going to click cancel. You can save metadata that will write settings into the file. Synchronize folder is, it looks at the folder and see if there's new images, and then we'll bring them in. So I'm going to do a remove photo, and this will actually bring up the delete option. So I can choose to delete from disk or just remove it. So I'm removing it from Lightroom, but it's still on the disk. So it's gone now. So I can right click and go synchronize folder, and I only have this import new photos option selected here. So So it tells me that there's a new photo that's not in the catalogue on the disk, which obviously we've just deleted, so we know it's there. Now you can choose to show the import dialog. I'm not going to bother here. You can also scan for metadata updates. So if I'd edited a file outside Lightroom, like in Camera Raw, and saved that information, it would look for those and it would bring them in as well. But in this case, we're just bringing in the new image. So I click Synchronize, and because I haven't switched off the current import previous import option in preferences, it now will jump to previous import. I'm just going to click on none to make sure that it's definitely got none selected here. Here's our image. Now it's freshly imported, so it's lost the information where I had attached the camera profile to it. So if I go to this one here and come down into the right click menu, I can go to folder in library. That'll go back to where we were before. So we can see that we've brought the images using in a synchronized folder. Update folder location. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to right click and go one down further to show you this. You can have show in Finder. So I'm going to show where this is. And what I should really do is select one of the ones that's got a low number of images in it to make it quick. Say raspberries here. So I'm going to go to raspberries. And I am going to, basically I'm going to do a copy and a paste. Okay, so I'm going to go Command C, Command V. That's going to make a copy. Oh, we can't. Yeah, no, sorry. I want to paste it outside here. All right. And Command V. So that's making the copy, which will take a second. We'll skip that. So here's our copy. So if we now right click on raspberries and we go update folder location. So what we're saying is this isn't the right location. We're going to go for the copy. We say the copy is actually the right location. Choose. And this will update now here and see raspberries is gone and raspberry copies is here. Now when you have a missing folder, that you don't have the option of update folder location, you'll have a find missing folder. So I'm going to delete my copy. Okay, so the copy is gone. And it should detect that it's gone. And see, we've got this question mark here now to say it's gone. So if I right click on that, we can go find missing folder. And I'm going to select the raspberry one, the original one. And it'll update to show that those are the correct ones now. So these will say they're missing, and now the missing thing is gone. So I've done a secret little way of getting my images back the way they were by showing you those features. Import to this folder does what it says. It just sets this as being the destination folder. You can also set this to be the Lightroom mobile downloads location, which can also be set in preferences. You can also choose to export this folder as a catalog, so everything in this folder will become its own catalog, which is useful if you wanted to edit stuff in this folder on a laptop while you're traveling. Show in Finder, as we've seen, shows where it is, and get information will get you information about that folder itself. So here we go, and it's showing you where that is now, and here's our information about it, so we can see that it's nearly a gigabyte. So with folders, you have your folder, or you have your file or your photo file in one location only. If you want to have multiple instances of it, like with a management aspect, you would use collections. So you could have raspberries in a food, in a fruit, in a product, or you'd have your best one in a portfolio. So you can have one image in as many collections as you like, but generally you will have it in only one folder. So it only occupies one physical space on the disk. That's good because of the fact that you don't have to deal with lots and lots and lots of copies, and which one is the final copy, which is the copy, etc. So you just have one to deal with. So folks, that's been a general look at folders in Lightroom. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'm being kind of lazy not doing a camera thing today because I've been out shooting loads and loads of houses and things and it's quite late. So I just want to get it up as quick as possible for you, just to have that information. If you do like the video, don't forget to like it, give me the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to get notifications. Again, thanks for taking the time to watch this, and hope you found it beneficial. Do leave a comment if you want to leave a comment, or if you have any questions, please feel free. Don't forget you can look at things on forums.adobe.com. I'm an ACP on there, so I do answer questions on that and try to help people on it. Or you can even ask questions here in the comments and I'll try to help them. Or if you've got a suggestion for a video to explain something that you want explained, please do leave a comment and I will look into it for you. Thanks a million.